My name is Daniel Reese, and I've been working at a call center for nearly 5 years. It's not glamorous, but it pays the bills. I handle support for a telecom company called West Call Communications, buried inside a beige office complex that hums with recycled air and fluorescent lights. Each cubicle is identical: gray walls, cheap swivel chair, headset hanging like a leash. Our department handles disconnection issues, customers complaining that their service was cut off. Irony is, half the time the number they call from is already deactivated. My shift starts at 3 p.m. and runs till midnight. Nights are quiet, the chatter dies down, the lights dim, and only the graveyard team remains. 6 of us, 2 supervisors, and 1 janitor who hums old rock songs while mopping the break room. Routine, predictable, almost peaceful, until it wasn't. It began on a Tuesday, August 17th. I'd just settled into my cubicle, headset adjusted, half drinking lukewarm coffee. At 9:42 p.m., my monitor flashed incoming call, priority line 4. The number read 480-739-0103. I answered with my usual script. "Thank you for calling West Call Support. This is Daniel. How can I help you tonight?" The voice on the other end was an older man, rough and impatient. "You people cut my line again. This is the second damn time this month." I started pulling up the account, asking for his name and service ID. "Arthur Penn," he said. "Same number I'm calling from. Except, when I entered it, the database threw an error. Account terminated. Status inactive since May 2023. That was 3 months ago." "Sir, I'm showing that number as currently inactive," I said carefully. "That's impossible," he snapped. "I'm speaking to you from it right now." The connection crackled, not static, but a dry whispering sound, like breath brushing the mic. Before I could respond, the line went dead. I logged it as incomplete inquiry, dropped connection, then ran a reverse lookup out of curiosity. The number didn't exist, not even in archived records. I assumed a glitch. Our system wasn't perfect. But when it happened again 2 nights later, same number, same man, same complaint, I felt that first prick of unease. By the 4th occurrence, I was keeping notes. Call number 1, 480-739-0103, August 17th. Call number 2, August 19th, same voice. Call number 3, August 22nd, line drops mid-sentence. Every time, the number was flagged inactive. Every time, the call lasted less than a minute. On August 25th, the man's tone changed. "Why haven't you fixed it yet?" "Sir, your account is inactive." "Stop saying that. You people disconnected me while I was talking to my daughter." He started coughing, deep, ragged. Then the line went silent, but not dead. I could hear faint background noise, a rhythmic beeping, maybe a hospital monitor. Then a woman's voice, distant. "Mr. Penn, can you hear me?" The call dropped. I leaned back, heart pounding. I checked with the supervisor, Melanie Rhodes, but she brushed it off. "Crossline interference," she said. "Old VoIP ghost calls. Happens with recycled numbers." She said ghost, casually, like a tech term. I laughed, but it didn't feel funny. Later that night, I Googled the name Arthur Penn plus Phoenix. The third result stopped me cold. An obituary dated May 10th, 2023. Arthur E. Penn, 67, passed away after complications from pneumonia, survived by his daughter, Laura Penn. Time of death, May 9th, the day before his number was officially disconnected. I should have let it go, but curiosity is a disease of its own. On August 29th, around 11:08 p.m., I got another alert. Incoming call, priority line 4. Same number. I hesitated, then answered. "West Call Support, Daniel speaking." Silence. Then a weak voice. "You finally fixed it. Thank you." It was him, Arthur Penn, but his voice sounded wrong, faded, distant, like it was playing through an old recording. "Mr. Penn," I began. "Can you tell me what you mean?" "My daughter can hear me again," he said. "You reconnected it." Then the line distorted into harsh static, and beneath it, I heard another voice, a woman crying softly. "Dad, please hang on." I ripped off my headset. The call log showed 0 duration. No incoming record. No number, just a blank line in the history. Melanie came by, saw my face, asked what happened. When I showed her the screen, she frowned. "There's no call, Dan. You sure you didn't imagine it?" I wasn't sure anymore. The next night, I stayed late after shift, digging through archive call reports. Found 8 calls over the last 6 months flagged as phantom inbound, each traced to terminated lines, including 480-739-0103, all routed through one node, the same workstation I'd been assigned since June. Mine. HR sent me home for stress-related leave 2 weeks later. They said I looked burned out. Maybe I was. I still can't walk past a cubicle without hearing that faint hiss of static. Last week, I got a small padded envelope in the mail with no return address. Inside was an old model Westcall headset, our company logo barely visible, worn smooth with age. Attached was a yellow sticky note. Call connected. Out of reflex, I plugged it into my phone. No dial tone, just a single, slow beep repeating every 2 seconds, steady, mechanical. The kind you hear on hospital monitors. My name is Kenna Morita, and until last year, I worked at a customer service center in Kansai Telecom. It wasn't glamorous, but it was stable. 24-hour shifts, headset indentations on your hairline, and polite apologies drilled into your tongue. Our office was on the 12th floor of a building near Namba Station. At night, it looked like a fish tank full of tired faces, each cubicle glowing with blue monitor light, each person saying the same scripted phrases to different strangers. I handled broadband disconnections, complaints from customers whose internet had been cut off. We weren't allowed to talk about it, but most of us kept tally marks on sticky notes for every angry caller we survived that week. It was our dark little scoreboard. I was good at my job. Calm voice, short sentences, empathy without emotion. I never thought anything could shake that rhythm. Then the call started. It was early February, snow still crusted on the window edges. My shift started at 10 p.m. At exactly 12:07 a.m., my console pinged. Incoming call, line 22. Number 080-1914-3326. Thank you for calling Kansai Telecom. This is Kenneth speaking. How can I assist you tonight? Silence. Then a woman's voice. Faint, like she was speaking from another room. My internet's gone again. You people promised it wouldn't happen. Her tone was calm but exhausted. The kind of customer who's too tired to be angry. I pulled up her number. No record found. Not even a billing ID. "Ma'am, could you please confirm your name?" "Takahashi. Ayumi Takahashi." I typed again. Nothing. The system auto-suggested. Account deactivated, January 14th. That was 3 weeks ago. "Ma'am," I said gently, "I'm seeing this line as inactive since last month." There was a pause. Then she said, "That's impossible. I called yesterday." Her voice trembled slightly, and I heard a faint noise behind her, like running water. Then, a short gasp, and the line disconnected. No static, just a click, like a receiver being placed down. The next night, it happened again. Same number, same woman. My connection's still not working. Are you ignoring me? I checked the records again. Still inactive. "Ma'am, your service has been disconnected. Perhaps someone else is using this number." "This is my number," she snapped. "I've had it for 12 years. Do you understand what it means to lose 12 years? I tried to calm her, but she was crying now, soft, restrained, like she was embarrassed to let it show. Then the call cut out. The log showed 0 seconds. When I replayed the call recording, there was nothing, only silence. I went to my supervisor, Rina Saito, who frowned. "Maybe a recycled number," she said. "System delay. Don't overthink it." But I was overthinking it. Because the next time the call came, 3 nights later, I noticed something new. A background hum. Not the usual static, more like air rushing through a narrow space, punctuated by faint drips. "Water again. It's happening again," she said. "The screen's dark. Can't you fix it?" Her voice sounded closer this time. Clearer. "Ma'am, are you near running water right now?" She went silent, then whispered, "You can hear that." The line dropped. I looked at the clock. 1:14 a.m. The timestamp sent a chill down my spine. The same date and time as her account termination 3 weeks earlier. I couldn't let it go. That weekend, I checked the internal database through a maintenance portal. Not exactly allowed, but curiosity won. The name Mayumi Takahashi returned one archived entry. Account ID 573114. Status: disconnected, deceased. Reason: customer fatality. Accident, January 14th. I froze. She had drowned. The address listed was a small apartment in Sakai Ward. That explained the water sounds. The drips. Maybe she'd called right before it happened, and the system was replaying an old buffer? But why to me? I was off shift that night, but something made me come back anyway. At 1 a.m., the office was almost empty. Just me, Rena, and 2 others. I logged into my console. The instant I did, line 22 flashed. 080-1914-3326. I didn't even need to speak. "You fixed it," the voice said softly. "It's clear now." I stared at the waveform on my monitor. The call was live. "Who is this?" I asked quietly. "I can see it again," she said. The light came back. Her breathing was faint, rhythmic, like someone underwater trying not to make bubbles. Then a gurgle, a choking noise, and the line went dead. When I checked the call log afterward, it was blank. No number, no duration, just an empty row labeled unregistered inbound. The company did an internal audit the next week. They found no irregularities and reset all inbound routing systems. But when I came in for my next shift, my console was moved to another desk. Mine had been decommissioned for maintenance. They said it was a hardware fault. Still, I couldn't stop thinking about that line. 080-1914-3326. Out of curiosity, I dialed it once from my personal phone. The automated voice said, "The number you have dialed is not in service." But beneath that, for just half a second, I heard a faint click. Then a woman's voice, whispering, "I can hear you clearly now." I dropped the phone. That night, I deleted my call recordings, formatted my phone, and handed in my resignation. I thought it would end there. But yesterday, I got a message on my work email, even though that account should have been deactivated months ago. No subject line, no text, just an audio file titled call_1_14am.mp3. When I played it, it was just the sound of slow, steady dripping water. And at the very end, a quiet female voice saying, "Connection restored." My name's Clara Bennett, and until recently, I worked nights at All Connect Broadband, a telecom support center in Canary Wharf. I was part of the retention team, which is a polite way of saying we convince angry customers not to cancel their service. The office was open 24 hours, but after 9 p.m., it thinned out. Just a few of us under flickering LED lights, our screens reflecting blue against the glass walls. Outside, the Thames looked black and still, like a sheet of oil. I lived alone in a studio flat near Shadwell Basin. Nights were my thing. No crowds, no small talk, just me and the quiet hum of computers. That job suited me fine, until the calls started coming in. The first one was on a Wednesday, around 11:18 p.m. The caller ID flashed 0207-315-6034. "Thank you for calling All Connect Broadband. This is Clara speaking. How can I help?" A man's voice came through, mid-50s, hoarse. "You people have cut me off again. There's no connection, no lights, nothing. I pay every month." I pulled up the number. No record. The system flashed account not found. "Can I take your name, sir?" "Philip Carter. I've called 3 times this week. When I checked manually, I found it. but tagged account closed, January 2024. It was now mid-May. "Sir," I said carefully, "I'm showing your service as canceled earlier this year." He sounded genuinely confused. "No, I just paid the bill last week. You can't cut me off again." The call stuttered with static, a dry hiss, like wind across an empty line. Then silence. Then the click of a receiver being placed back. When I checked the call log, it was blank. No record. I mentioned it to my supervisor the next day, Martin Ellis, who chuckled. "Old numbers sometimes linger in the system. Happens when recycled lines haven't cleared from the exchange." Reasonable. I accepted it. But deep down, it didn't feel like a glitch. The man had sounded too present. 2 nights later, Friday, the same number flashed. 0207 315 6034. Same man. "It's down again. You said it was fixed." I nearly dropped my headset. "Sir, we spoke earlier this week." "No, this is the first time I've called." I checked the logs again. Still inactive. But here's the part that made my skin crawl. The last payment on record was dated May 11th, 2024, 2 days ago. The system shouldn't even allow that. "Sir, may I confirm your address?" "Flat 4B, Crescent House, Poplar." I searched the database. The same address, same account, but marked deceased account holder, February 2nd, 2024. My breath caught. "Sir," I said quietly, "this account was closed because..." He interrupted, shouting, "I can't hear you." It's gone quiet again. Then the line broke. When I replayed the call log, the recording was full of faint interference. Beneath it, a sound I couldn't place, like faint tapping. Then a man's voice, very distant, saying, "Can you hear me now?" The IT technician said it was packet loss, digital distortion. But I'd been doing this too long to mistake speech patterns. The third time came a week later, at 2:07 a.m. I'd just finished a coffee when the number appeared again. 0207 315 6034. Something in me wanted to ignore it, but muscle memory answered automatically. "All Connect support, Clara speaking." This time, there was no voice at first, only faint breathing. Then a whisper. "It's fixed now." My pulse spiked. "Mr. Carter?" "Yes." "You sorted it." I can hear her again. "Who?" "My wife." Then, in the background, a woman's voice faintly replied, "Philip, dinner's ready." And the line went dead. I sat there frozen. The call log again showed no data, just an empty timestamp. But this time, I noticed something new. The internal system had generated an outbound ping, meaning the call had originated from our side, not his. We had called him, except that number no longer existed. When I brought this to Martin, he looked at me like I'd grown another head. "Clara, you're overworked. Get some rest." There are no outbound calls at that hour. But there were. I printed the logs, highlighted the timestamp. He told me to delete them and stop digging. I didn't. That night, I looked up Philip Carter, Poplar, Crescent House. An obituary popped up. Philip Carter, 56, passed away in February after a gas leak in his home. His wife, Helen, had also died the same night. I quit the job 2 weeks later. I told HR it was burnout, and maybe it was. But I can't sit near phones anymore. The ringtone makes my chest tighten. 3 days ago, while unpacking boxes in my new flat, I found something odd, an old All-Connect office headset in the bottom of the box. I turned mine in. This wasn't supposed to be there. A small note was taped to the cord. Line 0207 315 6034. Do not delete. Out of morbid curiosity, I plugged it into my phone. No tone, just silence. Then, faintly, a man's voice. "Can you hear me, Clara?" I yanked it out immediately. Since then, my phone has started ringing randomly around 2 a.m. every night. Always no caller ID. I've stopped answering. But sometimes, when I hold the phone in my hand, I swear I feel the faintest vibration, like someone breathing against the line. I've changed my number twice. Doesn't help. And last night, When I looked up my old account online, I found something impossible. Under contact information, my current phone number had been replaced. It now read, Customer, Philip Carter, active.